Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Astoldbykenya Podcast. I hope you guys are having a great day, a great night, whenever you guys are listening to this. And if you are not having that, I hope you feel better after this podcast. I don't know why you guys would sit here and listen to me ramble, but the fact that you guys do enjoy doing that makes me feel good. We have to deal with some housekeeping things. I hope a lot of you know you can get blocked off my Patreon. I blocked like 3 people off my Patreon in the past week, and it was the first 3 people I blocked on Patreon. You guys, the money is not that big a deal to me. I will block you off my Patreon. The whole point of my Patreon is I don't want to deal with foolishness. So I'm not going to deal with foolishness on my Patreon, on my YouTube, and my Twitter. Like, Patreon is like a safe haven for me. So you can get, like, you will get blocked. You will get refunded your money for the month and you get blocked. Like, that's just how it works. Like, I don't know. So yeah, that is a thing. But the rest of you guys, the other 1,400 of you guys are absolutely amazing. I absolutely adore you guys. And yeah, I guess I put up the podcast post about us making a podcast so long ago, and like me doing a podcast so long ago. So I guess you guys' questions probably aren't even relevant anymore. But I guess we can talk about what has happened as of recently, which is Kamala Harris being Joe Biden's vice president. A lot of people were saying that like it took a long time for Joe Biden to come out with his vice president pick, and that's actually not true. The vice president usually gets chosen at the Democratic convention. Like, this is actually right on like track. Of course, Kamala Harris got chosen. It was either her or the woman out of Minnesota. What's her name? Klobuchar. Yeah, it was gonna be Klobuchar or Kamala. Like, I had no doubts about either of them. I thought it was strange that Stacey Abrams, who I really adore, I adore Stacey Abrams, and you guys know I live in Georgia, so I really like Stacey Abrams, and I thought Stacey Abrams had a really promising career, but we also thought Andrew Gilliam had a really promising career, and look what's happening to him. But Stacey Abrams is also another person who was in that same race for governor. And like they just went out bad. Stacey Abrams did some strange things defending Joe Biden. It doesn't make sense for the Joe Biden administration to have Stacey Abrams on the ticket. It just does not. Anyone who anyone who is voting for Stacey Abrams is probably already going to vote for Joe Biden. Like, it doesn't open up anything for Joe Biden, I believe. Like, it'll make liberals happy, it will, but I mean, not liberals. Yeah, it'll make liberals happy. So the people, like the self-proclaimed liberals, it'll make them happy. But when it comes to just getting like the left, like not the left, when it comes to just getting Democrats, like Joe Biden already has that. The issue Joe Biden is going to run into is getting people to get off their couch, especially in a pandemic. And that is what Kamala Harris is able to do for Joe Biden. Like, this makes a lot of sense. Like, Joe Biden's going to lose this race or win this race whether or not, like, if he can get people to get off of their couch. If he can't get people to get off their couch, he's not going to win this race. So therefore, Stacey Abrams doesn't help with that. Stacey Abrams is not going to get like moderates and people who just don't care, not going to get them off their couch. And I know you guys hate to hear, but Joe Biden also don't care about getting leftists. Joe Biden has long decided he doesn't care about the leftist vote. Like, he would have tried to be kumbaya with Bernie Sanders if that's what he was trying to get. Like, they're not, the Democrats do not care about getting leftist votes. They just simply do not. Kamala Harris was the perfect choice. Number one, I have horrible things to say about Kamala Harris. I don't stand in community with cops, period. So, and I definitely don't stand in community with prosecutors. So I have terrible things to say about Kamala Harris. But the one thing I don't have terrible to say is Kamala Harris is very smart. Kamala Harris is very educated. And the number three thing, Kamala Harris is very quick in a way that Joe Biden is not. I don't think Joe Biden is smart. I don't think Joe Biden is that educated. And I don't think Joe Biden is quick. So what Joe Biden doesn't have, he's going to get from Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is going to absolutely destroy Mike Pence in those debates. So seeing how things are going on TV, it seems like they'll be able to do the debates in person. It'll just be a social distance debate. And so the debates are going to be in person. And Kamala Harris is going to absolutely destroy Mike Pence on that stage. But Trump is going to absolutely demolish Joe Biden, because the thing is, Biden has to actually come with truths and facts, but Trump doesn't. Trump just needs to be rowdier than Joe Biden, which he's going to be, and he's going to absolutely destroy Joe Biden on a debate stage. Even though everything Trump says is going to be a lie, it doesn't matter. Joe Biden can't put a coherent sentence together, and he knows that. His team knows that. And then specifically after those comments Joe Biden made about the Hispanic community, there was no other option. When he made those comments about the Black and Hispanic community, I knew Kamala Harris was his VP, because that's the only thing. He couldn't put Klobuchar on that ticket, even though I think Joe Biden wanted to put Klobuchar on the ticket. He couldn't do it, because he sees himself slowly losing, he's not going to lose older Black people. It's not going to happen. He saw himself losing 40 to 27 to 40 year olds. So he saw himself losing that vote. The college educated 40 to 27 year old adults. He saw himself losing that vote. And the only way to get that back in is Kamala Harris, because yes, on Twitter, we have fun and we kumbaya and we say Kamala Harris is going to throw all of us in jail. But let me tell you, the educated Black people, so Black people with college degrees love people like Kamala Harris. They love people like Kamala Harris. They love Black people who went to HBCUs. She's an AKA, and she just rose to where she is to be a senator of California. They love that. They love that she's a prostitute. That's why I say those types of Black people, I find it hard to be in community with. The educated, and I'm putting educated in quotation marks, because I find it hard to be in community with those people, because a lot of their politics are self-serving. It doesn't matter that they threw away a bunch of Black people and put them in prison for years, as long as they were able to rise. So as long as they have Black excellence, it doesn't matter that millions of Black people had to struggle because of that. So yeah, that's my opinion. Of course, Kamala Harris was chosen. My opinions on this race. So we have a Trump-Pence ticket and a Biden-Kamala ticket. This race is close. A lot of people are saying Trump's going to win. We have no hope. I don't believe that. I don't believe, number one, what is hope at this point when it's a Biden and Kamala ticket and a Pence and Trump ticket? What is hope? Where do you see hope anywhere between those two tickets? You don't. But if you are someone who wants the Democrats to win, you're just anyone but Trump, you should actually feel quite positive. You should feel more positive than you would feel any other way. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't think this race is a throwaway. I think people who are saying that are just saying things. They don't know anything about politics. I think the Biden campaign fully expects to win. I think the Trump campaign fully expects to lose. I think that's where we are right now. I think the Trump campaign is expecting to lose, and I think the Biden campaign is expecting to win. But that don't make it happen. Ask Hillary Clinton. So yeah. I think the Trump campaign knows they believe that they are behind. They're going to throw away. If you are mailing in a ballot, I promise you it's getting thrown away. I promise you, if you are mailing in a ballot, it's going to get thrown away, and Trump is going to make sure of that. But yeah, the Trump campaign knows that they are working from behind, and to be honest, with campaigns, what is behind? When you say you're working from behind, what is working from behind? I don't know if they are actually working from behind. But it's not, if you are someone who wants to see Kamala and Biden in the office, it's not a pipe dream. That's all I'm going to say. It's not a pipe dream. Look at all the celebrities who came out who are so happy that Kamala is getting the nomination. Like Black Excellence. Like, they love this type of stuff. Like, this is what the Black Excellence crew loves. Like, does Kenya? No, because I don't move in Black excellence. I don't move in exceptional blackness. I don't move in that. I find that those types of politics to not benefit most Black people. So no, Kamala being on a ticket doesn't do anything for me, but I know the exact Black people that it does do things for, and I'm not here to drag Black people or the Black people who do believe in those things. I find that to be useless and not needed. But yeah, so I don't think it's that far-fetched. Does that mean I think Biden is gonna win? No. Does that mean I think Trump is gonna win? No. But do I think the race is close? I genuinely do. Especially in November, if we are still in pandemic, stranger things are gonna happen. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about any of this. I'm just minding my business. What have I been up to lately? I have not been up to anything lately. Some information on what's going on in Kenya's life. Because I don't give you guys personal stories ever, or like what's going on in my life. Nothing really is going on. I am back in Charlotte, and I've just been using my time to spend time with my family, like my little sister and my nieces and nephews. I am looking to buy a house. I've been talking about buying a house with you guys. I think I talked to you guys about buying a house. It would make me feel absolutely amazing if I have a house before my birthday. My birthday is October 26th. So yes, I'm really excited. So I've just been working on doing things like that. My house will be in Georgia. I don't ever plan on moving out of the South. It would take some like extraordinary circumstances for that to happen. I like living in the South. I like living in Georgia. I love Charlotte. So it would take some extraordinary circumstances for me to do that, and those circumstances have not come. So I have just been chilling. That is what I'm going to continue to do. So yeah, that's what's been going on in Kenya. I literally wake up and think about my house. I go to bed and think about my house. I'm on YouTube looking at videos of houses. I'm just always in Kenya house mode. This is how Kenya, I wouldn't say this is how Kenya manifests things, but this is how Kenya gets things to come to fruition. I have to think about that. If I obsess over something, they'll happen. I think that they'll happen. So that's what I'm trying to do. You have to believe it before it happens for things to come, even when it seems like it's impossible. If you believe in, I don't mean that fake belief, I think this. No, if you really believe something is to be and you claim something for yourself, I promise you it'll come. That's been something that's happened my entire life. You have to want it. Barbara asks, also, do you smoke weed? And how do you feel about weed? I do not smoke weed. I've never done drugs ever in my life. Kenya is crazy. You want to know, Kenya, I have really bad anxiety and I have control issues. I'm a control freak. Maybe you guys can tell, maybe you guys can't. I am a control freak. You want to know how I know I'm a control freak? Have you guys ever baked those croissants that come, like those Betty Crocker croissant, no, those Pillsbury croissants, and you have to open the croissant and it pops? I hate that. That triggers me in a way I can't explain because I'm I like to be in control. So when things happen that I can't control, it gives me panic attacks. I have to literally give the croissant thing to my boyfriend so he can open it, and I go into another room because the thought of something surprising me or happening at any moment, I can't do. I go, it makes me physically uncomfortable. The other day, my boyfriend wasn't home and I had to open the croissant thing by myself. and I almost like cried. Like it took me literally 30 minutes to do it because I was like, I don't want it to pop. I don't want it to pop. You're probably wondering, what does this have to do with anything? It has something to do with the fact that I couldn't imagine doing drugs because it's a loss of control that I can't do. I can't do that lack of control thing. I just can't do it. It like does something to my spirit. I don't know. A lot of you have WAP questions, so Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion song, so we can get on that. My thoughts on Kylie and Rosalia being in the WAP video. I have no problem with Rosalia being in the WAP video because I don't have any thoughts on Rosalia. But I don't have problems with Kylie being in the WAP video because I'm not a Cardi B stan. I don't really like Cardi B's music. I don't stan Cardi B. I don't have any ill will towards Cardi B. I don't feel anything for Cardi B. Like, if you watch my video that I posted today, I was talking about, the video, and I was like, and all I did was folks say, like, Meg Thee Stallion, I adore you. Meg Thee Stallion, you were great, because that's the only reason why I watched that video. If Meg Thee Stallion was not in it, I would not have watched the video. That's why Cardi B put Meg Thee Stallion in the video. She knows a lot of people are kind of lukewarm on her. Like people are lukewarm on Cardi B. Cardi B went pop. Like, so people aren't, never mind. Cardi B went pop, so a lot of people are, who aren't really like big on Cardi B. Like, how many Cardi B fans do you see if not people who like pop music? Mostly people who like pop music like Cardi B, but people who like Meg actually like rap. They like understand like rap, so Cardi B putting Meg Thee Stallion in the video, like on this song, was to get people to watch who probably wouldn't watch, because everyone loves Meg Thee Stallion. She's that it girl. Like, I want to be very clear. Meg Thee Stallion being in this video helps Cardi B more than Cardi B being in the video helps Meg, and that is T, okay? Meg Thee Stallion being in this video helped Cardi B way more than it helped Meg out. If Meg would have put out this video by herself, it would have got the same like traction, like, period. But yeah, I don't care that black celebrities like Kylie. That doesn't surprise me. I've already talked about the anti-blackness and the self-hate that has to go into you to admire the Kardashians or want to be in community with the Kardashians. And I think the Kardashians play on this fact that they're so nice. I've made an entire video about this, how the Kardashians lure black people in by being nice, so they feel chosen. They feel like, oh, these people really care about me. But meanwhile, they're sucking you dry. Like, they're literally using you as a leech. They're leeching off of you. The Kardashians have this way of making it seem like they're doing you a favor, when in reality they're leeching off of you. So they're grabbing your fan base. Because they don't have any other ways to stay relevant but to leech off of other people. They're leeches. They leech off of the people who they are with or who they are associated with. And Beyonce is the only one who understands that jig. I don't know why no one else understands that jig, but they're leeches. And so it doesn't surprise me that black celebrities would want to have her, like, would want Kylie in the video. Kylie looked a mess in that video. Kylie's face is so stiff from all those fillers. She looks absolutely a mess. And then they slowed down the video like we were supposed to be gagged. I'm like, in what world do you expect black people to be gagged that Kylie's walking down there? But Kylie gets the clicks, right? Like, Kylie gets the clicks. And then, like, this also shows an out of touchness. Meg Thee Stallion said Normani was the only person they both agreed on to be in the video, which I thought was I think it's like shade that she didn't want Kylie in the video, but Cardi did want Kylie in the video, and that's fine. That's like, I don't really care about that. But yeah, black celebrities are out of touch. They don't understand why you wouldn't like someone. They just see them all as just, oh, they're rich and they're fabulous, so of course we like them. Y'all know how that whole game goes, so that doesn't surprise me. Someone said black people that defend the Kardashians. Black people who defend the Kardashians are, they have Stockholm syndrome. They have, I need to protect. Okay, they don't like to see people who they admire, even if they don't even know they admire them. A lot of black people admire the Kardashians don't even realize they do. It's a subconscious thing that they don't like it when they think they're below the Kardashians. So how dare you guys step out of turn and speak negatively about the Kardashians? Do you have their money? Do you have this? Do you have that? So therefore, when they see a black people talking bad about them, they immediately go into defense mode, because I think they think it gives them brownie points. Like, I like the Kardashians. Like, they're defending the whites. It's like very Terry Crews. Like, I'm not like the rest of you. My mama told me I would never be like the rest of you, N-words. Like, that is what they do. Like, oh, I'm not like the rest of you. Y'all are weird. Like, I like the Kardashians. Y'all are weird. Because it's very, I'm not like the rest of these black people. It's very anti-black. I like in never in a million years will you see me ever defend a Kardashian. I don't care if the Kardashian is dead right, like just fully in the right. I'm not gonna say it either. I will keep my mouth shut sooner than I will defend a Kardashian. Like, that's how I move. Like, did I sign that petition? No. Like I said, I don't care about the video. But like I said, I would sooner keep my mouth shut than I would defend. Like, it's not my ministry. Like, it's simply just not my ministry. Like, I am a whole black person who these people have sucked dry and belittled at every turn. Do you think I am about to do that? Absolutely not. Absolutely. But yeah, they're self-hating. And you can't come for they're white queens. They're gonna immediately get the cape out, and they're going to immediately come to their defense, because they said, not my white queens, never gonna happen. Okay, what is another question that is interesting to me? Opinions on Pill. Are you talking about Jordan Peele? I've been a follower for a hot minute. I haven't heard any JW. Your thoughts? I don't know what JW is. Are you talking about Peele, like Jordan Peele? I like Jordan Peele's. I do. I put this thing up so long ago because people are asking me about James Charles. So I know this was a long ago. I'm going to keep fiddling through the questions until I find some I like. Okay. Also, girl, you and Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus, how do you reconcile with the blatant use of black culture for success? I don't believe Miley Cyrus fully used black culture for success. Miley Cyrus had a horrible era where she freaking did Bangers. First of all, Bangers is not a hip-hop album. Bangers is a whole pop album. Fully, and I'm not a Katy Perry stan, by the way. I'm not a Katy Perry stan, but also I allow things. How do I explain why I'm a fan of Miley Cyrus and I really don't care? Because y'all don't care. Miley Cyrus, y'all. It was easy to bully Miley Cyrus, but the same energy is not for so many other artists. What's so funny is Kenya has called out Miley Cyrus. I have always called out Miley Cyrus for her foolishness, the same way I always call out white women who move throughout black culture all the time. It's y'all who are not consistent. That is what I always tell. Kenya has always been consistent. I have always called out Miley Cyrus for that one era. I have always done it. The people who haven't always done it is you people who move the goalposts for everyone else. Everyone else you have no issue with. But when Miley did it, that's when you guys were upset. And then people like, but and then she said all those bad things about black culture. She did one interview for Billboard where she did say something out of line. She apologized for it, realized it was out of line, corrected herself, and the way she corrected herself, it made sense. But no one cares about the correction. But once again, I'm not here to cape for Miley. That interview with Billboard was terrible. She should have never said those things. And Miley Cyrus has never done anything in hip hop since. She has never done anything in hip hop since. So no, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care. Like, that's how I do it. I don't care. I don't care. Like, it was a bad era. It was like she should not have done it. But many of people have done. Like, I'm mad at Christina Aguilera for her strip era. No, I'm simply not. I'm not mad at Katy Perry for her Dark Horse era. I'm just not. I'm just not. Her Prism era, rather, I say. Like, no, I'm just not. Like, I'm just not going to do it. If the music has bops, I'm going to bop, period. But Kenya has always been consistent. I have always called Miley Cyrus out on her foolishness. And we can call Miley Cyrus out her foolishness and also say Bangers is a good album. And the songs on Bangers that are good are the ones that have no hip hop influence. That's what's freaking crazy. Now everyone is on the radio with all this hip hop influence, but Miley was the one who took the bullets for it. Interesting. But yeah, so that's how I deal with it. Talk about the disrespect between black cis women and black trans women. I believe I don't believe I believe it's one-sided. I believe one side is transphobic and the other side is shooting back at you guys as transphobia. I think it's actually quite transphobic to make it seem like black trans women are just had this attack on black cis women, because it's not happening. It's not happening. If you come to my place thinking I'm going to speak negatively on trans black women, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because it doesn't make any sense. And then most critique on trans women comes directly out of transphobia. So to make myself not sound crazy and not sound like transphobic, because you want to know where I ran into this. Caitlyn Jenner. I dislike Caitlyn Jenner. I do. Caitlyn Jenner is a Republican. Caitlyn Jenner don't care about black people. All of those things. And I used to have critiques of Caitlyn Jenner, but then I noticed that those critiques of Caitlyn Jenner were coming off as very not cute at all. They seem very transphobic, and I never want that to be me. So I just no, it's not going to happen. But I believe the hatred that black cis women have for black trans women is quite evident, and now they've turned it into this battle thing. But I'm going to tell you who through the first, I think, and it's a weird thing that a lot of people like to make it, we're against each other, when really you don't want to be in community with trans women. If you guys just admit it, y'all don't want to be in community with trans women, a lot of this would be ignored, but y'all don't want to admit that. Maddie Ziegler racist videos resurface. You think I'm surprised? Maddie Ziegler grew up in the middle of Pittsburgh. You think I'm surprised that Maddie Ziegler was out here being racist? I have a thing that I believe all white people have some racist video that could resurface at any moment. That do not surprise me at all. Maddie Ziegler doesn't look like someone who is is it a thing that people didn't grow up around white people? I grew up around white people my entire life. Them folks racist. Even the ones who think they not racist are racist. They all have some racist phase where they were just absolutely horrible to black people. So that just really don't be surprising me when it comes to Maddie Z. That don't surprise me. That does not surprise me. Someone said Dua Lipa got snubbed for VMA nominations. MTV is trash. Futures for Nostalgia revived pop music. I don't agree with none of these statements. Well, I agree that MTV is trash. Did Future Nostalgia revive pop music? No, but it's a great album. Did it revive pop music? No, pop music is still kind of dead, but Dua Lipa got snubbed for the VMA. I do not care about VMA. What is the last VMA I cared about? I think the last VMAs I really cared about, I remember when Beyonce did the Lemonade medley, and I still didn't care about the VMAs at that moment. I literally just watched for Beyonce. So I'm trying to think. I think when Justin Timberlake won the Video Vanguard Award, I remember that VMA distinctly. That's the VMA where Miley Cyrus twerked. Yes, that's the last VMA I cared about. I have not cared about a single VMA since that moment. I do not care about the VMAs. I just honestly do not. So if you say Dua got snubbed and she got snubbed, I don't know a single Dua video, but I do love Future Nostalgia. I think that album is amazing. So if she got snubbed, then let you tell it. Then she was snubbed. Megan writing a screenplay, FBI raid Jake Paul's house, Emmy nominations. This is how long we are back at Emmy nominations. I put this up forever ago. The Emmy nominations. I'm so on the Emmy nominations. It was very let's get some black people on the ballot, which I am all for. But do I agree with them? No. I want Ozark to sweep the Emmys. I believe it's so funny. Okay, I have a gripe with Netflix. I think Netflix completely ruined television. Hear me out. All of Netflix shows suck. There is just something. So I'm going back and I'm rewatching Dexter, and I'm looking at Dexter, and I look at other old TV shows I watched, like Desperate Housewives and things like that, and I'm like, there's just levels to these shows that Netflix shows do not have. Like, everything on Netflix is so flat. Does anyone else agree with that? Like, every single Netflix show, like, it's just so flat. Like, it's like someone had an idea and an idea is all they needed. There's just nothing. I think Netflix completely butchered television because it's just these quick, it's almost like in music when people keep putting out quick little singles, then they fizzle out, but no one's putting out bodies of work. That's how I feel about Netflix. I feel like Netflix is a bunch of quick little singles, which are television shows, and then they fizzle out and you don't even care about it. So it gets to a third and fourth season and don't nobody care. How many Netflix shows have you started and never went and watched the second season of it? Like, it's just, because it's a bunch of quick little, like, they're not good. But the reason why I bring that up is because Ozark is an exception to that. Ozark is the only show on Netflix, and The Crown are the only shows on Netflix that do more. They do more. Like, they could be on network television. Like, and I mean good network television. Like, they're doing something. In my opinion, like I said, I think FX and FXX are making the best television on TV right now. Yeah, Netflix is just so flat for me. So when I watch a show like Ozark, I feel good. You want to know what I think Netflix is perfect for? I think Netflix is perfect for shows like Selling Sunset and Love is Blind and things like, it's cute for little cute shows, but anything with some depth, I think Netflix does terrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't like Euphoria, so I didn't care about any of the Euphoria nominations. I want Leslie Odom Jr. to win. I want Issa. Issa should have won an Emmy for Insecure, and the only reason why Issa has not won an Emmy for Insecure is because Insecure became a very, very black show. So when Insecure first started, remember when it was kind of this quirky thing and white people used to watch it? Yeah, that didn't last long. Now Insecure is just a certified black show, and people are treating it like it's a sitcom and not a very well-made show. Issa should have got her Emmy, and I think she's gonna get it this year. Regina King, give her everything. Regina King deserves the entire world, but definitely one for Watchmen. So those are the things I'm excited about, but I want Ozark to sweep and I want Issa to get her things. Those are the two, and Regina King. Those are the three that I'm like definitely need to happen. Let's see. The Shade Room should be abolished. Yes, the Shade Room should be abolished. Here's the thing. Kenya was on sites, like media sites, like blogs, since she's been a kid. So I was on Media Takeout, I was on Sandra Rose, I was on Nicole Bitchy, I was on all the media sites. Therefore, the Shade Room doesn't startle me like it startled. If you weren't around in that blog phase of like 2004 to 2012, you just wasn't around. Like, you didn't live it. People were waiting. These blogs were terrible. Like, they were terrible. So the Shade Room is just a Instagram blog, right? And so nothing about the comment section on the Shade Room startles me because these people like have always been around being terrible. The Shade Room is a terrible place. If you frequent the Shade Room, I think something's wrong with you. There's no way you can frequent the Shade Room and not have mental issues. Like, that place is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The people in the comments are absolutely horrible. It's a place to just where I promise you the most bitter and miserable people came along and they went on the Shade Room, and that's how you get that place. Like, it's just full, it just stinks. The Shade Room stinks. If you could be a talk show host for a week, what guest would you want on the show? I want Beyonce. I want Kelly Rowland. I want Alexis Bledel. I want Mandy Moore. I want Hilary Duff. I want Leslie Odom Jr. I want Lakeith Stanfield. I want Ashton Sanders. You're probably like, Kenya, why do you have all of this already mapped out? Because I do. Because I do. I want Brad Pitt. I want Angelina Jolie. And that's pretty much it right now of people I would want to be. Oh, I want Bruno Mars. I want Miley Cyrus. These are just people who I have specific questions I want to ask them. And I just would love to do it in person. That's why this is no like people that Kenya likes or people that Kenya does. Like, there's just specific questions I want to ask these people, and I want to do it face to face. Any other ones? Are there any other people I would like on this show? So yeah, those are mine. Those are, if I could do a talk show for a week and we could like fit in all those people, those are my people. I want all of those people on a talk show so we can talk. I don't want to talk to Rihanna about nothing. She wouldn't be one of my guests. I'm missing a few. I'm missing a few people that I would want to talk. Oh, I want to talk to AOC. Who are some other people? I want to talk to Michelle Obama. Who are some other people I want to talk to? Right now, that is pretty much it for people I would. Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal. I want to talk to Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. Those are the people. Anika Noni Rose. I want to talk to her. Are there any other people? That might be it. That might be it. White people with a savior complex in disguise as allies. I'm not fully on this ledge, so don't push me off of it, but I'm almost there. I'm like 2 steps away. I don't think I believe in white allies. When it comes to black people, I don't think I believe in white allies. I don't think it can exist. I don't think you could be white in America and be an ally to black people. I don't think that you can. I don't think it works. The optics just don't make sense. The physics is not physicking. I don't think the optics make sense. That's where I am with allies. So I definitely don't, because they all have a white savior complex and they speak over black people and they're in black people business a little too much. There's just a part that just seems so fraudulent. Like, why are you in black people business this much? Like, it almost seems like you were rejected from the spaces you wanted to be in, or maybe you weren't good enough to be in those spaces, so you knew you could occupy space in the black community, because black people, back to the Kylie Jenner thing, give space to white people because they have this Stockholm syndrome. It reads very that to me, and I can't. Are you excited for Miley and Dua? I am excited for Miley and Dua. Racially ambiguous girls who are suddenly black and Afro-Latina. I am very this. If one of your parents is not fully black, you're not Afro-Latina. That is period. Y'all be taking 2% from here, 10% from here, 15% from here, and saying y'all black. It don't work that way. I don't want to sit with y'all. I have always been vocal about this. I have an Evelyn Lozado video on my channel about this. I don't sit with the Evelyn Lozados of the world. I don't sit with the girl from Orange is the New Black. I don't sit with those type of Afro-Latinas. I don't sit with you guys. You guys don't even have like black parents. Zoe Saldana, very frustratingly late retrospection. Once again, Zoe Saldana doesn't even claim to be Afro-Latina, and I still don't want to sit with her. Zoe Saldana said, I don't care about black people, and now she's backpedaling because caring about black people is the thing that is in. Zoe Saldana, you're going to have to move around me. I feel nothing for Zoe Saldana. That Nina Simone movie that I never saw, I'm old enough to remember when that movie was in the works, and everyone told Nina Simone no. It wasn't just black people or dark-skinned women telling Nina Simone no. The entire internet told told Zoe Saldana, do not do this. You look stupid. Don't do this. She did not care. She felt like she could do it. She felt like she was deserving to do this, and she should be able, because she's a black woman, or she's this. Mind you, she's been colorblind her whole life. She believes in colorblind politics, but now she want to be Nina Simone. So I do not care that now she wants to cry. It doesn't mean, her tears mean next to nothing to me. Biphobia. What are my thoughts on biphobia? Most people are never going to admit they're biphobic. They're going to just say, I just don't want to be with a guy who has been with other guys, when they won't just admit they're biphobic. It's like that tweet that the King of Reeds, he put up. He said that he was like, not wanting to be fat is fat phobic, and he's 100% correct, because you have to ask yourself, why do you not want to be fat? Of course, you cannot want to be fat, but not wanting to be fat is because you are fat phobic. You feel a way, you feel something about being fat. Like you just have to, a lot of people don't want to admit where they're, and that it's the same thing about cis women who don't want to be in community with trans women. You have to unpack that. Tell me why it makes you uncomfortable when people compare black women or compare cis black women to trans black women. Explain to me why that makes you uncomfortable. Because you're transphobic. You don't want to be in community in them. You see trans black women as men and dress up, and you don't want to come to terms that you're a bad person. It's the same thing with colorism. When you say, explain to me why you think you prefer light-skinned women, they don't want to admit they think dark women are ugly, and it's because they're dark. It's the same thing with biphobia. When you say, I just don't want to be with a man who's been with another man, it's just me. I have no problem with that, but it's not just, you don't want to admit you have a problem with, you're homophobic. You have a problem with men being with men. That makes you uncomfortable. That is something that is uncomfortable to you, and you don't want to deal with it. And that's the problem with biphobia. People don't want to admit where your own lapses, your own, like, I need to unlearn, I have work to do. People don't want to admit that they have work to do. Like, I have a problem with, and then people are like, well, being fat is unhealthy, but being skinny is unhealthy too, and many times. Just the same way that being fat is not always unhealthy, being skinny is not always healthy. But you don't say, I don't want to be skinny. You don't say, that's never stopped you from wanting to be skinny. So it's not a thing about health. You feel a way about fat people. You feel a way about fatness, and you don't want to come to terms with that. Same thing with biphobia. You feel a way about gayness, and that's why you don't want to be with someone who's bi, because you feel a way about it, but you don't want to admit it because it comes to admitting you're a bad person, and you don't believe you're a bad person. But the minute you clench up and you are like, no, you've lost. Look, you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to do that work. I'm not speaking on anything apparent with Santana. If you gotta come with all of it, or there's no. Do you believe POC solidarity is a myth? Yes, I believe POC solidarity is a myth, child. They don't care about us. Taylor Swift versus everyone. I took that video. Why did I take that Taylor Swift versus everyone down? I'll post a link, child. I don't believe people should have John Green, and not that John Green, not Fault in Our Stars John Green. I don't think. Dangers of Family Vlogging. You should not have your children on the internet like that. There's just something about family vlogging and having your children on the internet that I just can't get down. It's even, I wouldn't even want my spouse on the internet. I'm going to be honest. As someone who puts things on the internet, I wouldn't even want my spouse on the internet. That's how much I find exploiting your family to be weird. I find it so weird. I'm gonna stop here. This was a bad podcast. I apologize. Anyways, tomorrow is eviction night on Big Brother, so all my Big Brother friends, you're getting a video on everything that's gonna go down there. I want to discuss the Potomac tea. All my Potomac girls, we have tea to discuss. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm sorry I was late with this one, but I'm dedicating the rest of this month to the Patreon, so there are going to be few videos on my main channel and a bunch of videos coming here, because I kind of just want to dedicate. I said I was going to dedicate the first, a week or so of this month to my YouTube, and now I'm in full Patreon mode. I'm just about to dedicate the next week to just being on Patreon, so you guys are going to get spammed with content because I like posting over here. It's a lot easier and a lot more fun, honestly. I love you guys, and yeah, you'll hear me in the next one.